we're back to discuss Blade Runner 2049, and if you watched our review, we all liked the movie quite a bit. Getting into spoiler territory, it's great that they didn't repeat the Force Awakens use of Harrison Ford. I was sure that they were going to kill him in this movie.
It kind of went that way at one point.
I was sure that they were going to let it be like sort of, open that Ryan Gosling could do another one if they wanted him to.
Yeah.
Which they did kind of. I mean, that's possible. Like, we don't see him totally die.
Yeah.
He's just in pretty bad shape. But if they did do another movie, I think it would be a mistake. Because the way this movie ends is so perfect, and
it's so carefully crafted and stuff. I'm not sure you can repeat that with the same sincerity.
Yeah. I wonder if I would enjoy it nearly as much the second time. That's my big question with this.
I'm definitely going to see it again to dissect it, because with the first Blade Runner, that's one I had to watch over and over again to pick up on all these details that people tell me are important, and this movie may be the same way, just because the screen, there's just so much to absorb.
I felt like the plot was surprising, but I don't feel like it left clues beforehand that it didn't bring back in some way.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Anytime there was some kind of reveal, it would go back and give you one line of dialogue from a character that was saying that was the case, or and in fact, seen a miracle occur and all that kind of stuff.
And that was actually great, because a good mystery movie, and this one plays out more like an actual mystery, unlike the first one, and a good mystery movie lets the viewer kind of figure it out first, and if you can figure it out a few seconds before they reveal it, you feel proud of yourself, and I felt that way, so I was, in that way, the movie's very rewarding.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't figure out that Ryan Gosling wasn't the baby.
Well,
the movie had to...
In the back of my mind, I was like, they're making this too obvious, because they just kept hammering, oh, he's got all these memories, and, it's looking like it, and hey, Ryan Gosling looks a lot like Harrison Ford, it must be his kid, and so, yeah, that was a nice twist, but it all made sense. They didn't do it just for the sake of, here's a red herring.
And the scene that...
Yeah, it was a big red herring, but it was a cool outcome, though.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that makes perfect sense. It wraps up, nicely.
The scene going back in my head that ties it all together, that maybe, some people wouldn't get until the second time watching it, was when he goes to the memory creation girl and shows her the memory.
Yeah.
She's crying.
Now we found out why. It was her memory.
And it's not just
crazy.
It's not just empathy. It's she's telling him it's a real memory, but she doesn't tell him it's his real memory.
Yeah, he just assumes as soon as the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
But
nicely done.
Yeah, I thought they spent a little too much time using those memories to call back the first movie. And that whole part where they brought back Sean Young's character, almost like they did in Rogue One, I kind of groaned. I was like, oh, God, here we go. This movie had done such a good job of avoiding nostalgia, and now we're just going to spend the last act of this movie rehashing the first one, but fortunately, no.
No, they just shoot her in there.
And then, I was going to say, that comes to an abrupt end.
That was actually kind of satisfying, because Sean Young is crazy, so I But, that, and then another thing you guys talked about, it does leave itself open to maybe have another movie, because I talked about that whole replicant revolution thing, and I was just
that would be the storyline.
But I groaned, because I'm like, I don't want to see that.
To me, it's like the feeling of when you saw the first Matrix. If you saw the first Matrix in the theater before the other ones were out, it was like, oh, there's so much more story to tell. And now it's like, God, I wish they had just stopped. I wish that had been the end, because it was such a great ending, and all the rest of it, all the mysticism and
didn't
Just
need
goes
that
sideways instead of forwards.
yeah,
I was holding
such a mess.
I was holding my breath there because, yeah, near the end where they reveal that rebel replicant army or whatever, I was afraid that, oh god, is there going to be a final battle?
Blade Runner Revolutions.
Yes. Oh, here come the X-Wing fighters, and now we got to blow up the Death Star. It's like, no, please don't. And they don't. Instead, they just...
First, they have this big dance scene where, like, everybody's having sex.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was quite a scene in The Matrix, wasn't it? What the heck was that about? Jeez. Although they do visit a brothel where that kind of happens, but not really.
Tons and tons of, like, cool actresses in this movie
Yeah.
that just sort of appear out of nowhere. Like, I knew Robin Wright was in it, but Mackenzie Davis shows up. There's a few others that, like...
I forgot the woman's name who played the Love, the main...
Joy.
Oh, well,
Joy.
yeah, his AI companion. Yeah, she was great. You know, this movie almost had, like, if you saw the movie Her, it was like elements of that, you know, tacked on to Blade Runner.
That character was a very, very clever way to explore a few themes, but mainly it was a way to give Ryan Gosling the ability to talk without talking to himself.
Yeah, literally, when he was in that archive room looking at stuff, he turns around specifically. I was like, okay, he can't just be staring at film. He has to talk to somebody.
Right.
And so, yeah, and she was great. But not only her, but the main henchman for Jared Leto's character.
Oh, yes.
God, I forgot her name.
Yeah.
But she was uber scary.
She was great. And Jared Leto was, like, not a big part of the movie. Like, he and Robin Wright are, like, have as much of a role in it as Mackenzie Davis or any of the rest of the characters do. Like,
Yeah.
it's Ryan Gosling's movie, and there's a bunch of people that have a few scenes in it, and I like that about it.
Yeah.
But Joy was also making me laugh, and this may be more information than anyone needs to know, but JOI is a pornography category. It stands for jerk off instructions, which was kind of fitting for a pleasure bot.
Well, yeah, that's what she is. Everybody just buys her, and there's just big electronic ads everywhere of everything you want to hear, everything you want to see and do.
Yeah.
And it's just her, so I thought that was great, too. But, great movie, though.
Yep.
If anything, it almost had too much going on there, exploring her and artificial intelligence and memories and stuff, but fortunately it doesn't delve into anything for too long. It just gets right back to, when does Harrison Ford show up? And then he does.
Yeah, it's like I said, like they have those things there because it would make sense that those things would exist in the future. They kind of touch on the themes of, you know, his loneliness and how he deals with that and how you would do that in the future. And but then again, she is literally there to be the audience surrogate that doesn't know the answer to the question. So she has to ask him, you know, what do you see? Yeah, this is weird. I shouldn't be seeing this because, okay, good, because I can't read DNA. So good thing we have, you know, the fembot here.
Now, with Harrison Ford, did it finally... I had to go use the restroom because it's a 2-hour movie in 45 minutes. Did they finally explain if he was a replicant or not?
No.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Really?
I get the feeling... I mean...
It kind of maybe tilts that way since it's such a miracle with the pregnancy thing. So maybe he was, but there's no, like, definitive...
Nothing said he was.
No.
If he's not a replicant, I don't understand why he couldn't fight Ryan Gosling better.
He's just a tough guy.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he's a replicant. I think he's human.
Okay.
But an older model, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't... Like, Ridley Scott came out and said
that he was,
but I don't think Denis Villeneuve necessarily took that on board. Because I don't feel like he was in this movie.
It was Harrison Ford says he's not, and Ridley Scott then said he was, but then took that back or something like that.
Oh, I haven't read that. I mean,
it's whatever they want it to be, right? It's just an imaginary thing anyway. So,
and really, I guess it's not important what what it's about is Harrison Ford. He finds some redemption here, and it comes to a great conclusion in that way. So
It was cool that it ended on a personal note, like a personal.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like it's a big film, but it was almost like a small way it ended. You know.
yeah,
I like that.
and it was very appropriate.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford didn't die. Although I will say that my biggest disappointment, Harrison Ford did not put on the overcoat and get rained on.
Ah.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to put on the overcoat and start shooting people.
There were a bunch of scenes with him, like when he's got the handcuffs on and he's like sitting in that
Yeah.
cart, where I was like, this is like his negotiation of what he's willing to do in this movie. Can I just sit on set? Yeah, I guess.
But you're gonna get wet. Oh.
No.
We'll do all the rain stuff at once. You're gonna be in the sea.
Yeah. No, but I was really waiting for that at some point. It didn't happen. I was also waiting for Rutger Hauer to show up because, why not? Because that
That would have been another, like
he could have been.
They could have done wacky cameos, like it was his same model type or something like
Yeah,
that. They could
yeah.
have figured that's why I like they didn't lean too heavily on the nostalgia thing.
yeah,
you
that
know?
would have
Yeah.
been
Force
irritating.
Awakens, I did like the movie. I liked it a lot, but wow, did it lean on the old nostalgia wagon?
Yes,
You know,
too hard,
Whereas this
too hard.
just a little bit,
Yeah.
just like a good amount, but it was its own thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
good balance.
That's a
I
good
thought.
point.
No, and I thought the Sean Young thing was fine until they brought her in, and then it worried me that, like,
Yeah.
she was going to have, like, an extended scene with Harrison Ford. And so he was just like, no,
Yeah.
You rejected her.
not going to happen.
I should have brought her from Ace Ventura. Brought back that character. That would have been, yeah. But, yeah. So, what we're trying to say is it's good. It wasn't wrapped up in nostalgia. It's really its own sci-fi film. It's Blade Runner, but man, it really takes the ball and runs with it in a whole new direction. And it was a blast. I liked it.
I agree. So that's our discussion. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.